Okay, so we're going to just draw a graph of the 3 years that we were talking about, 2021, 2022, and 2023, and just compare them to see the differences in cost and the savings after we buy the copy machines. We'll just get a graphical representation of this. So what I have here is a graph with two axes. I have the number of copies on the x-axis. So if you want to draw that with a ruler, just draw that straight line out. And then I have over here the cost in thousand, and that is $1,000 right there. So this is like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and so on. This is 50,000 copies, 100,000 copies, 150,000 copies. You get it, I hope. So what I'm going to do is first graph 2021. So that's the year that we were just making copies in the office, and very simple, just 4 cents per copy. So if you want to look back at your worksheet, you can see what your equation was for 2021. But right now, what I'm going to do, just to get some data points so that I can draw my line, I'm going to think about 0 copies. Well, what does it cost to make 0 copies if I'm making copies in the office? Well, nothing, right? So then that's just going to be 0 there. Well, in order to make this line, I need another point, but I do have another point, and that is the point at which I've made 180,000 copies. If you remember from number 2 on your worksheet, 180,000 copies is going to cost me $7,200 in 2021. So if I go here to 180,000, that's, I don't know, maybe about right here or so, 180,000. If I want to just kind of label that right there, that's an important number that we keep using. We spent $7,200 on that amount of copies back in 2021. So $7,200 is right about here. 7,200 right there. And so if we just graph this, we go up and just kind of draw a line from 180,000, and that's going to be a very important marker for the next 2 years. So we'll just draw a line up from there. But from the 7,200 over here, let's try to draw a straight line right across. That'll give us the point that we need to draw this 2021 line. So this right here is our 2021 line. And that represents the first equation. So if you were to write the equation, this is for 2021, the equation was y equals 0.04x. All right, in 2021. Now, let's also graph 2022. 2022 is a little different. If you remember, the cost of the copy machines was $4,800. So $4,800. So that means the cost to make 0 copies in 2022, assuming we bought the copy machines, was just to start was $4,800. So let's mark that. 4,800, about right there. And so that's where we're going to start. That's our starting point. Just to make a single copy, we need to pay that much just to make a copy. Well, assuming, because we're making copies with everybody. Everybody is going to have a copy machine. So what's our second point? Well, we get that from looking back at our worksheet. If we do 180,000 copies in 2022, we figured out how much that costed. We figured that out to be $7,500 or so. Okay, so $7,500 is right about in the middle right here. So if we just draw a line over, across, try to get it nice and straight. About right there for 180,000 copies in 2022. So here are our 2 points that will represent our 2022 line. Okay, comparing 2021 to 2022. Okay, and it has a little hiccup in there. Sorry about that. You get the point. But here's 2022. The equation for 2022 was y equals 0.015x, that's a cost per copy, times the number of copies plus the cost to just buy the copy machines, which was right here. So that was 2021 and 2022. Now, if you think about this, you look at this graph and you go, well, okay, if this represents the cost in dollars to make copies, depending on how many copies we make, we can see right away the point at which we break even, the point at which the cost to make copies in the office is equal to the cost of to make copies in our classrooms is right there. And we found that point to be 192,000. And this is obviously just like not exactly to scale. I apologize for that. It should be, but I think I just drew that line poorly or something. But this right here is 192,000 copies. And in case you wondered, that was at the point that we were spending $76.80, okay, on either method. It cost $76.80, but we made 192,000 copies. That's the point at which we broke even. The reason I probably didn't label this right is because 200,000 needs to be, somewhere more like over here. Okay. So anyway, 200,000. And the point of this is so that you can see the savings. The savings are right here. So this is how much we're saving. And you can see how those savings just continue to grow and grow and grow as we make more copies in the future. So this is the point at which we break even. These right here are the savings after we break even. And by the way, this is just extra credit. Savings after breaking even. And now what we're going to do, the only thing left is to graph 2023. So 2023 was 180,000 copies as well. And the cost to make 180,000 copies was $2,700. So that's right here, about $2,700 in 2023. But in 2023, in the very beginning, we already have the copy machines. So because of that, you don't have to pay anything for the copy machines. You already have them. So it's just going to cost 1.5 cents per copy. So 180,000 copies is going to cost us $2,700. So let's just carry that line over here. And we'll draw that. Finish our graph. But we have our 2 points. It costs us 0 to make 0, and it cost us $2,700 to make 180,000 copies in 2023. Let's get this line right here. Okay, this is 2023. Sorry, my graph's so wonky here. And so label that, please, 2023. Again, if you do this on the quiz, it is extra credit. But if you do earn all the extra credit, you need to do all of these steps. Here was the equation for 2023. And so we've just represented the situation here. We save a lot of money. These are the savings as they begin. If we just start in 2023 with the copy machines, this is how much less we have to pay. But look at this. I mean, you're paying so much more over time if you're making that many copies. But if you think about it, if you're spending like you know, if you're not making as many copies, so if you're in another department, then you're probably not going to want to buy the copy machines, obviously, because you're still losing this amount, right? So you have to pay this much more in the beginning, but over time you pay less. It should make sense, but that's a graphical representation of those 3 years.